My name is Eddie Peake and I am an artist who works in lots of different media. I make performances, paintings, sculptures, videos, installations. I write, I make sound, I DJ. Usually all the different things that I do come together in the exhibitions, and that is what I have come to think of as the singular medium that I work in. So I've tended to present my work in quite a lot of different types of spaces, but always under the umbrella of contemporary art. So they have taken place in galleries most of the time, but I've also performed in churches on a few occasions, on a volcano one time, and other sort of unusual spaces, but even in those instances they've still been sort of conceptually framed by the art gallery. I'm working towards a new performance at Futur.Shock at Fold, and the performance is called The Pervert. This is going to be the first performance of mine in London, quite a while actually, so it holds a lot of significance for me. To summarise The Pervert, I would say that it is a highly dramatic, non-linear narrative performance work with an ensemble. We've devised the piece, so it's born out of rehearsals, and it is lots of layers of sound and looping choreographies and a written soliloquy performed by an actress. Some of the themes that I look at specifically are to do with sexual desire within relationships and sort of emotional complexities that arise from them, and also the viewer and the viewed and where the power is in that relationship. And I think the work will sort of implicates the viewer in the work, not in an interactive way, but I hope the work behaves like a sort of metaphoric mirror that bounces the viewer's gaze somewhat conceptually back upon itself. In terms of the feeling I want the audience to take away, I think of the pieces as possessing non-linear narrative structure. I want the audience to come away with that kind of complexity and layeredness. I don't want them to come away with just one image in their head. I want it to be like, leave them sort of, on the one hand, invigorated and excited and like full of vitality, but also maybe a little bit unsettled. That's why I suppose I say atmosphere and mood are quite important to me, as opposed to say like a didactic message. What interested me specifically about Futur.Shock and Fold is that it is in another type of space that I'm conceptually very interested in, which is the nightclub and the sort of electronic music space and the clubbing space. That's another space and realm that I'm really fascinated by. Before I wanted to be an artist, I wanted to be a DJ, and DJing has always been a part of my life. But Futur.Shock specifically, it seems to me, is the centre of the Venn diagram that includes clubbing, electronic music, techno, contemporary art, performance art, and the sort of nebulous space that exists between the viewer and the viewed, the fantasy and the real, the imagined and the quotidian. And so it feels like the exact home for a performance like The Pervert, because that's precisely the sort of spaces it's speaking to.